Alright, everybody, we are back with TEW 9, the War of Immortals save, here with WWFC Primetime Wrestling. So, let's take a look at last week's episode where we started everything off with a pre-show match between Tito Santana and Big John Studd. We had Tony and Bobby run down the card explaining the matches that we were going to see last week. We had Greg the Hammer Valentine defeat George the Animal Steel to retain the $1 million title. We had Jim Cornette, the Midnight Express, and Arn and Tully talk about their 8-man tag team match that we were going to see coming up. Ken Patera defeated Bad News Brown. Then we had Bobby and Barry talk about how great Barry has been at being the United States champion. Then we had the Texas Tornado defeat Don Morocco. We had Andre talk about how he was kind of giving out a warning to Jerry Lawler about their upcoming match at King of the Ring. Then we had Arn and Tully and the Midnight Express defeat the Fantastics and the Fabulous Freebirds. Bob Uecker made his decision about King of the Ring, about who was going to face Roddy Piper. And then we had Demolition defeat Well Done. Bobby Heenan talking about how destiny was going to come true and how Haku was going to win the King of the Ring. But unfortunately, Haku was defeated by Rick Martel. Then we had James Mitchell giving out a warning to the whole Primetime Wrestling about the Great Muta. Then we had Muta and Tenryu have a pretty okay match. Then we had Piper talk about the upcoming match at the King of the Ring now that he knew he was going to face Hulk Hogan and Sid Vicious. So we had Andre, Harley, Hogan, and Piper take on the New Horsemen, Sid and Barry, Bam Bam Bigelow, and Jerry Lawler. So I am going to go ahead and book tonight's show. So I will be right back. Alright, everybody, so we are back. We have the show booked, and we are ready to start the action with our first pre-show match. In a pre-show bout that had decent reaction from the crowd, and subpar wrestling. Big John Studd and Kamala defeated the Killer Bees in 10:24 when Kamala pinned Brian Blair with a splash. The crowd heat at the end is expectant and simmering. The wrestling rating is a 53. The crowd rating is a 47, so we got a 57 in the segment. Jim Brunzell had a 53. Brian Blair had a 51. Kamala and Big John Studd both had 54s. Brian Blair and Jim Brunzell got a tag team specialist bonus. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost. Teddy Long did good work at ringside, and Colonel Robert Parker did good work at ringside. So let's head off to our next pre-show match. In a decent pre-show match, Genichiro Tenryu defeated Bad News Brown in 9:49 with a powerbomb. The wrestling rating is a 67, the crowd rating is a 52, and the segment got a 70. Bad News Brown had a 57, Genichiro Tenryu had a 76, and the color commentary gave the match a boost. So let's head off to our first segment. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another exciting edition of Primetime Wrestling. I'm Tony Schiavone, joined as always by Bobby the Brain Heenan, and we've got a huge night of action lined up. That's right, Schiavone, and let me tell you, if you're not watching Primetime, you're probably one of those humanoids out there with no taste, because tonight we've got matches that could main event any arena in the world, including our massive main event of Roddy Piper versus Bam Bam Bigelow. Fresh off his huge win at King of the Ring, will Piper be able to keep up the momentum, or will Bam Bam be able to take him out? Slow down. He's not going to humiliate him. Piper has everything, but Bam Bam is going to take him to school. Speaking of the Horsemen, we have the Midnight Express defending the WWFC World Tag Team titles against the Freebirds. Jim Cornette team has been on fire, but Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy have been demanding this match for weeks. Demanding, please. The Freebirds are all talk. Midnight Express is the best tag team in wrestling today, and Jim Cornette has a brilliant mind, and the Freebirds are in for a long, painful night. And let's not forget, Jerry Lawler takes on Ken Patera. Lawler claims he was robbed at King of the Ring, but tonight he faces the strongest man in professional wrestling. Robbed. The guy talks more than he wrestles. Ken Patera is going to put him in his place if Lawler even shows up. And finally, the mysterious and dangerous Great Muta goes one-on-one with rugged veteran Ronnie Garvin. James Mitchell made it clear that Muta is looking to prove himself, and tonight he's got a chance against a former champion. James Mitchell made it clear. You mean I've made it clear, Giovanni. Muta is the most dangerous man to ever step foot in the ring. Ronnie Garvin may be tough, but he's about to find out what it's like to get completely outclassed. It's all coming your way tonight on Primetime Wrestling, and we can't wait. Stay tuned because the action starts right now. So, the crowd is hot and rising. The segment got an 86. It advanced all of our storylines. Bobby Heenan benefited from having a hot catchphrase. The angle got the crowd hotter, and it got the show off to a strong start. So, let's head off to our first match of the night. In a bout that had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat, Demolition defeated Cowboy Bob Orton and Magnificent Morocco in 11:28 when Smash pinned Bob Orton with the Demolition decapitation. Demolition Axe carried the match in terms of in-ring performance. The crowd is hot after the match. The wrestling rating had a 59. The crowd rating is a 43, and the segment got a 74. Don Morocco had a 55. Bob Orton Jr. had a 48. Demolition Smash had a 57. And Demolition Axe had a 75. So it advanced the Midnight Express Demolition storyline. Bob Orton Jr. seemed off his game. Demolition Axe and Smash showed excellent chemistry. Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan worked extremely well on commentary, and the color commentary gave the match a boost. So, we are trying to build up Axe and Smash a little bit more before their tag title match, which will be happening sometime soon, I think. Maybe at Saturday Night's Main Event. I haven't decided yet. So let's head to our next segment. I figured this was going to bomb. Well. Ain't this something? Arn Anderson and Tully Blanchard, the so-called greatest tag team in WWFC, think they can just run their mouths about the fabulous Freebirds like we're some kind of warm-up act, boys. Let me tell you something. You ain't ever faced a team like us. That's right, Hayes. Y'all talk a big game, but we ain't seen nothing yet. You want to run around with Bobby Heenan and call yourselves the best? Well, if you're so tough, why don't you put it to the test? Why don't you step into the ring with the Freebirds and see if you still like talking when we're knocking your teeth down your throats? See, Arn, Tully, y'all might be horsemen, but we ain't the kind of guys that just ride past on your way to the top. Nah. See, we're the kind of guys that'll stop your ride dead in its tracks, drag you off the horse, stomp you into the dirt. So here's what we're saying. Anytime, any place, anywhere you two want to dance with the Freebirds, we're ready. And trust me, boys, when the bell rings, it ain't going to be some technical wrestling clinic. It's going to be a fight. And when it's all said and done, the only people are going to remember about the Horsemen is how the Freebirds whooped your ass. So what you going to do, boys? Y'all going to step up like men? Or are the Horsemen a couple of ponies who ain't ready for this ride? Either way, Bad Street USA is coming for ya. So the crowd heat is simmering down. The segment got a 41. The Fancy Horseman Freebird storyline. The commentary quality lifted it. The color commentary gave it a boost. And the crowd is now cooled down a little bit. So let's hope we can pick them back up. So let's head to the next segment. In a decent match, the Great Muta defeated Rugged Ronnie Garvin in 9:48 by pinfall. The crowd heat is simmering. The wrestling rating is a 62. The crowd is a 65. The segment got a 74. Muda had a 79, Rugged Ronnie Garvin had a 46, and Garvin was off his game. Tony and Bobby showed excellent chemistry. On commentary, the color commentary gave it a boost, and the great Muda and James Mitchell are a good pairing and they play off each other well, so that's great too. So let's head to the next segment. What did I tell you, huh? What did I say? I said I was walking in as the champ and I was walking out still the WWFC champion. And look what happened, Hulk Hogan. The Golden Boy, the so-called Immortal, Sid Vicious, the Monster, the so-called Master and Ruler of the World, they both thought they had me beat. But what happened? I outlasted them, I outsmarted them, I beat them. You see, Hogan, you've been living in the past, brother. You thought you could just walk in and reclaim the throne, but this isn't your era anymore. This isn't your spotlight, and Sid, you thought your size, your strength, your power was going to be enough? Nah, pal. It takes more than muscle to take down Hot Rod. You could be as big as a house, but if you don't know how to play the game, you're going to lose every single time. But now, the King of the Ring is in the books. Hulk Hogan and Sid are in my rearview mirror. The question now is, who's next? Who's going to step up and try and take this from me? I ain't hard to find, boys. I'm right here, standing tall, standing proud, and still holding the WWFC Championship. You want a shot? Come and take it. If you got the guts, because I don't plan on slowing down. I don't plan on stopping. I am the man in this company, and I'm ready for whatever comes next. So the crowd is hot and rising. We got an 88 from that. It advanced the Piper versus whoever storyline. Piper clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script and performed well. He benefited from having a hot catchphrase, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So let's head to the next match. In a decent match, the Midnight Express defeated the Fabulous Freebirds in 11:09 when Bobby Eaton pinned Michael P.S. Hayes with the rocket launcher. The Midnight Express make defense number 2 of the WWFC tag titles. The crowd heat at the end is hot. The wrestling rating is a 64. The crowd is a 54. The segment got a 76. Terry Gordy had a 71. Michael Hayes had a 54. Stan Lane had a 57. Bobby Eaton had a 76. It advanced both the Midnight Express and Demolition storyline and the Horsemen and the Freebird. Michael Hayes and Terry Gordy showed excellent chemistry teaming together. Bobby Eaton and Stan Lane showed excellent chemistry teaming together. The commentary quality gave the match a boost. Jim Cornette took a work at ringside, and both Stan Lane and Bobby Eaton have excellent chemistry with Jim Cornette. So let's head off to our next segment. Oof. All right, listen up, you bunch of peasants. I know all you lowly commoners out there are just dying to rub it in my face that Andre the Giant got the win over me at King of the Ring. But let me tell you something. You all need to wipe those stupid grins off your faces, because Andre didn't beat me. Andre got lucky. Let's get one thing straight. Nobody, and I mean nobody, makes a fool out of the king. Andre, he's just a big clumsy oaf who happened to be in the right place at the right time. He didn't outsmart me. He didn't out-wrestle me. He just used that massive size of his to barely scrape by. And guess what, Andre? Next time you and I step in the ring, there won't be any luck. There won't be any flukes. And there damn sure won't be a win for you. You may be big, Andre, but you're slow. You may be strong, but you're predictable. And when we meet again, I'm going to do exactly what I should have done at King of the Ring, and I'm going to take down the so-called 8th wonder of the world. And prove once and for all that size doesn't matter when you're in the ring with the real king. So enjoy your little victory, big man, because it's the last one you'll ever gonna get against me. Next time, it won't be Andre the Giant standing tall. It'll be the king sitting on his throne where he belongs. So the crowd heat is white hot. The segment got a 79. It advanced the Andre Jerry Lawler storyline. Lawler improvised well throughout the segment, and he benefited from having a hot catchphrase, and the angle got the crowd hotter. So let's head to our next match. In a decent match, Jerry Lawler defeated Ken Patera in 11:33 by pinfall with a pile driver. So the crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating is a 68. The crowd is a 58. We got a 78. Jerry had a 73. Ken Patera had a 62. It had advanced Andre versus Jerry Lawler, and Tony Schiavone and Bobby Heenan work extremely well together on commentary. So, let's head to our next segment. Texas Tornado. Oh, yeah. I remember you. I remember you real well. You think I forgot? I don't forget. And I sure as the hell don't forgive. You and me, we got history, boy. And that history is going to catch up with you real fast. You got speed, you got power, but you ain't never faced anything like me. You ain't faced someone who doesn't care about pain, who don't care about the rules, who don't care about nothing but breaking bodies and making people regret they ever stepped in the ring. And at Saturday night's main event on July the 20th, that's exactly what's going to happen to you. Kerry Von Erich, the Texas Tornado. Whatever you want to call yourself, you better be ready for a fight, because when I come for you, I ain't coming to wrestle. I'm coming to destroy. You hear me, boy? You ain't gonna be walking out of this one the same man you that walked in. You're stepping into my kind of fight now, and when the dust settles, you're gonna wish you never crossed paths with Unknown. So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got a 79. His Wild Man gimmick is a great, and the primetime storyline of Texas Tornado versus whoever this person is. Hopefully, we'll find out by our Saturday night's main event, or maybe he might just stay a mystery until then. But that segment has automatically advanced, so let's head to the next segment. Oh, snap. In a bout that had good wrestling and good heat, the Texas Tornado and Harley Race defeated the New Horsemen of Barry Windham and Sid Vicious in 12:26 when Harley Race pinned Barry Windham with a pile driver. The Texas Tornado was the weak link. Struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance, the crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got an 81. The crowd rating got a 71. The segment got a 90. Harley Race had an 81. The Texas Tornado had a 70. Both Sid and Barry had an 86. It advanced our Barry Windham Harley Race storyline. And the Texas Tornado versus Unknown. The creative finish was a success, and Barry and Sid have great chemistry when teaming together. So let's head to our next segment here. Sid debuted a new spot that got great heel heat. His psychology will be helped by being able to use this as a go-to spot in the future. Nice. Okay, well, that's fantastic. So, let's move on. Oh, hey, that did so much better. Ah, what a glorious feeling, mon ami. The sweat, the struggle, the spotlight, it's all paid off. Because now, the whole world can say it loud and proud. Rick Martel is your 2024 King of the Ring. And let me tell you, this isn't just a trophy to polish and sit on yourself. No, this crown, this represents power, prestige, and the path to gold. You see, I now have a decision to make. The Intercontinental Championship, the United States Championship, or do I take the biggest step of all and challenge for the WWFC World Heavyweight Championship at SummerSlam? Decisions. But you'll all find out soon enough, because no matter what title I choose, no matter who I step into the ring with, the model will walk out smelling like success and looking absolutely fabulous doing it. So the crowd heat's very hot. The segment got a 77. And as you can tell, we're finally going to turn Martel heel. But when? Hmm, who knows? So let's head to our next segment. Oh, nope. New. New. The answer is new. In a bout that had great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd, Arn and Tully defeated Strikeforce in 12:01 when Arn pinned Tito with the spinebuster. In terms of ring work, Arn Anderson was head and shoulders above everybody, and Tito was the weak link, struggling to keep up with everybody. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got an 82. The crowd got a 67. We got an 85. Tully had an 83. Arn had a 94. Tito had a 70. And King Martel had an 83. It advanced the Horseman Freebird storyline. Arn Anderson was really off his game, and he got a 94, so he was off his game. Arn and Tully showed excellent chemistry. They got a tag team specialist bonus. King Martel and Tito showed excellent chemistry and got a tag team bonus. And the match got the crowd buzzing some more. So let's head to our next segment. Oh, for the love of Pete. Freebirds, we keep hearing the same song and dance from you two. You strut around like you run the place. But let me remind you, this is Horseman country. And the two of you, you're just visitors. Michael Hayes, Terry Gordy, you boys have made a name for yourselves brawling in bars, running your mouths, and thinking you could dance your way to the top. But that won't work against us. We aren't some second-rate team you can steamroll. We are the best tag team in the WWFC. And if you need a reminder, we'll be glad to give you one. See, what separates us from you is that when we say we're the best, we back it up every single night. We don't need a rock and roll entrance to prove it. We let our fists do the talking. And tonight, it says when the bell rings, the talking stops and the hurting starts. So Freebirds, get ready, because when you step into the ring with the Horsemen, you'll learn real fast the party's over. And when it's all said and done, the only thing fabulous about you two will be the excuse you can come up with after we leave you laid out in the ring. So the crowd heat is very hot. The segment got a 79. It advanced the Horseman Freebird storyline. So they're at least getting better at cutting promos, because they were horrible at first. So let's head to our next segment. Too bad. In a decent match, Hulk and Andre defeated the Islanders when Hogan pinned Tama with a scoop slam. Tama was the weak link. The crowd heat is very hot. The segment got a 60. The crowd got a 67. We got a 74 out of it. Hogan had a 73. Andre had a 59. Tama had a 37. Haku had a 73. It advanced our Andre and Jerry Lawler storyline. Hulk and Andre have absolutely zero chemistry as partners. Haku and Tama showed excellent chemistry teaming together and got a tag team bonus. The commentary quality lifted the match. The color commentary gave it a boost. So this is Hulk's second last match. Yeah, I think I might give him one more next week. Because he is leaving to film a project, so he'll be gone for who knows how long. So that is why he lost at King of the Ring instead of winning. So let's head to our next segment. Who is it, you ask? Oh, you don't know. You'll find out soon enough. Oh, I think something's wrong. Oh, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen of the WWFC, I warned you. I told you the Great Muta is not here to entertain you. He's not here to shake hands, kiss babies, or pose for pictures. No, no, no. The Great Muta is here for destruction. He is here to dominate, and now he has his eyes set on a new victim. Who is it, you ask? Oh, you don't need to worry. You'll find out soon enough. But let me leave you with this. Whoever you are, wherever you are, if your name is the one the Great Muta has whispered to me, then your days in the WWFC are numbered And when the mist falls, so will you. So the crowd heat is very hot. We got an 84, which is the best segment we've gotten from these two. And the Great Mood is getting better at his gimmick. So let's head to the main event. In a superb match, Roddy Piper defeated Bam Bam Bigelow in 11:58 by pinfall. Piper makes defense number 2 of his WWFC Championship title. The crowd heat is very hot. The wrestling rating got an 84. The crowd rating got a 77. The segment got a 90. Roddy Piper had a 97, and Bam Bam had a 71. It advanced Piper versus whoever. And the next segment. Oh, God. So, the Great Muta has attacked Roddy Piper. The crowd heat is very hot at the end, and the segment got an 84, which is a lot less than I thought. But the Great Muta and James Mitchell are a good pairing, and they play off each other. So, Muta is now going to be the next challenger for the WWFC heavyweight, or the WWFC Championship. So, let's finish off our show. We got an 88. We increased our popularity in 8 regions. We missed one in Canada because we don't have enough viewers in it. Let's finish the show. The financial report, we made over $1 million. We gained 1 in British Columbia, so we're up to 67. Got to work on the Maritimes because it is just not moving at all. Well, that is that. So that is everything for this episode. I will see everyone in the next one.